Shabbat shalom.
Oh, good. Amazing.
Shabbat. Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat, Achim, Gam Yachad. These words mean, oh my God, it is so awesome to be here together, whether you're here in the sanctuary, online. Ine Matov, Umanayim, Shabbat, Achim, Gam Yachad.
Ine matov
umanayim sheberachim gam yachad.
Are you trying to fix it? Okay.
There we go. Umanayim sheberachim gam yachad. Ine matov umanayim sheberachim gam yachad.
There we go, a few more.
Ine matov umanayim sheberanu gam yachad. We need your help with this part. How good it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day.
Do it again.
How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Ine matov umanayim sheberanu gam yachad. Ine matov umanayim sheberanu gam yachad.
We welcome in the Sabbath angel with Shalom Aleichem. If you're lucky enough to be online and have this, or if you see this, or we welcome in the angel of Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Sharet, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Sharet, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lochem Shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni Shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni Shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Satan Shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so beautiful to be here. And this is actually, with the sun still in the sky, when the sun sets, we're going to end Rosh Chodesh Elul with Rosh Chodesh. This is our celebration of the new moon, Elul, this month before we begin the high holy days. And you will not be surprised to hear this is the perfect time for this particular moment. It's crazy how that happens. What do you know? Because Rosh Chodesh is a celebration. Elul is a time of transition and introspection. So I will say that in my 10 years in Seattle, the Temple Beth Am summer barbecue has been the definition of what's beautiful about summer in Seattle. And so let's just like have a moment of like deep, deep appreciation for like being in Seattle right now. That's Rosh Chodesh. That's our celebration. Elul. This is our Jewish time for change and transformation. And so this is a time when each of you who is here, because there's something that pulls you to Temple Beth Am, this is your time to like deepen and like dig in and figure out how can Judaism make my life more meaningful? How can Judaism make my life more I hear you. I hear you. Because Elul is also our time of looking within and thinking deeply about ourselves. So I want to give you one suggestion for Rosh Chodesh Elul, this celebration of this month. When we are thinking about next year, I invite everyone who is here, whether you are 9 months old, 9 years old, 29 years old, 49 years old, 89 years old, I invite you to think about one aspect of your life that you want transformed. I invite you to think about that. Take the next 30 days to let that
I should go in.
Rosh Chodesh Elul, a celebration of the new moon, a celebration of this Jewish month of transition. And this particular Rosh Chodesh Elul is our time to celebrate. Rabbi Jason Levine. Can I hear it up for Rabbi Jason? So with this particular Rosh Chodesh Elul, Rabbi Jason finishes his 10th year of service to Temple Beth Am. That's a decade of a life of a not a very long life. And Elul, as I shared earlier today with some of us, Elul is our time of introspection, of transition, of transformation. And our rabbis teach the words for Elul tell us, Ani l'dodi v'dodi li, I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. This is our time to express our love. This is our time to express our connection. This is our time to express our gratitude. So we're going to spend the next 45 minutes, and I promise you we've worked hard to make this just 45 minutes. We know you're out here wanting to get your food. We know you're in the sanctuary wanting to get your food. We know you're at home wanting to get to your food. And so we're going to just take a few minutes to acknowledge Shabbat, acknowledge this beautiful moment in Seattle, and really acknowledge this historic moment in the history of Temple Beth Am. I'm Rabbi Ruth Blotnick. I'm joined by Rabbi Jason Levine, Rabbi Dana Benson, by Jacob Glickman, by Karen Weber, by Andy Stoller, and by Sean Weaver. And so with all of that said, you will see that you have online or on the tables our booklets. And we're going to begin by lighting our candles for Shabbat. And we have half of the team who brought Rabbi Jason here. Those many years ago. Ruth Berkman was the co-chair with Leslie Red. Greg Berkman happens to be our current president. They're going to light our candles for Shabbat. And we used our trick candles once again. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. Thank you, you do Ruth and Greg. And I just want to say, we asked, Rabbi Dana and I asked Rabbi Jason, do you want to just sit or do you want to be part of the service? And he said he wanted to be a part of the service. So he is up here today working, not because we asked him to, but because he wanted to.
And so we take in that sense of being present together, whether we're leading or just sitting in our homes or sitting here around with each other. The presence of Shabbat, the words of the Shema, of just being here, of acknowledging the space that we take when we take time to be together. Listen up, O Israel, for all the things that we can share. Hear, O Israel, there's so much that brings us together as one community. We join in those words in your booklets. I think it's up the next page. So join with us for Shema.
Israel Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Mahuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Mahuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
And now I feel like Shabbat is really here as we are together. It's my honor to invite up one of two young individuals who will be becoming the name mitzvah tomorrow. Anya Kligger, if you'd come up and lead us in the Ve'ahavta, which is going to be also in that same booklet right after the Shema.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anoki mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'yivartabam v'shivtecha v'beitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'shotecha v'kulecha u'shema me'od tzvayetecha v'chayu v'totachot b'einecha u'taftam al mezuzot beitecha u'yisharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohim Emet Yasher Koach.
Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chayim, ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha. Please, God, spread over us a shelter of peace. And for me, I know I can think of specific people and places and a couple of things that give me that sense of sukat shalom, that canopy of peace. I'm sure you can think of a few yourself, those people in our lives who really hold down that anchor of what it means to feel at rest in our bodies, to feel safe and secure. And let me tell you, as someone who has had the pleasure of being on the inner machinations of this space, there's one person who I'd like to name who has really been an anchor for this community, holding down that Sukkot Shalom for not only the people here, but for literally thousands of people over the past 10 years. And that is Rabbi Jason. And so with gratitude to him, I hope we can sing this song, Hashkivenu, spreading over him and his family a shelter of peace for where they end up and where they go in the future, and also over all of us here this evening. Hashkivenu, please join us.
Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu v'chayim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us not wrong from right, all the way. Amen. 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 Amen.
Thank you, Jacob. Rabbi Diana, for that request. The melody we sing to our daughters every night. Okay, thank you. Amidst the joy of being here for our annual barbecue, the celebration of being here together, recognize, acknowledge that people also need a moment of healing, moments of recovery. Many in our community have been ill recently, and it is okay to mention your own name or consider your own health in this moment in trying and challenging times. So to look across our community outside in the sanctuary online, I invite you to share the names of loved ones who need a prayer for healing, for love, support, and comfort. We might hold all those names, all those souls together, and support one another as one community. Please share names now in our prayer for healing. Again, it's okay to mention yourself. As Moses pleaded to God when his sister Miriam was ill, El na Rafanala. Please, God, heal her, heal us now.
And this is a new melody, but it's just one line repeated. Rabbi Jason just taught us those words, El na Rafana la. And we're just going to add to the end the Al Kulam, just everyone else. Or Al Kol Ha'olam is probably what I'll end up saying, so my apologies. But the Al Kol Ha'olam, the whole world. El na Rafana la. Elna refanala, Elna refanala, Ve'aolam. Elna refanala, Elna refanala, Elna refanala, Ve'al kol ha'olam. Elna refanala, Elna refanala, Elna refanala, ve'al kol ha'olam. Elna refanala, Elna refanala, Elna refanala, ve'al kol ha'olam. And so we move from those words of healing, please heal us, to words of peace, recognizing that only when we've come into a time where there will be peace across all peoples, across the whole world. Hopefully they can hear me on the airplane too. That's the nice part about being outside. It reminds us to be humble and just take in what we can, doesn't it? Just take the moment. And so we move into a song of peace, and we'll hope for peace for all of those who are in need of healing, all of those that we can think of, all of those who may even be in the air right now, as we share our words of Shalom together.
Shalom Rahava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adom levo hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adom levo hashalom. Shalom Rahava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha lebarech et Amcha Yisrael. בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. Tasim leolam, tasim leolam.
So I'm going to invite everyone here. Can you hear me okay? I was told I'm not speaking directly into the mic. Yes, I see some thumbs up. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, because that's how we create a sacred space on Shabbat here in this beautiful environment. And we have a moment now to honor Rabbi Jason Levine, who is starting his 11th year as a community member at Temple Beth Am. So I will say, I believe, except for Colby on the staff and Sean and Alberto, Rabbi Jason is the longest standing member of our current professional team. And Taran? I don't know, Taran, do you think you're a professional team member or a volunteer?
Depends on the day.
The first time I moved to town, the first service I ever went to, Tara and Noah were leading. So
beautiful. So I just want to share with you that so it is 2013, exactly 10 years ago, and a few months back. And I met with the person who I served as an assistant and an associate rabbi, who served as my senior rabbi. And as sort of like a ritual moment, I shifted and I took him out to lunch as opposed to him taking me out to lunch. His name is Rabbi Peter Rubenstein. He was part of my installation. And I said to Rabbi Peter Rubenstein 10 years ago, there is a new rabbi. His name is Jason Levine. He's newly minted out of Hebrew Union College, and he is expecting me to be a senior rabbi. What the bleep is a senior rabbi? And so I need to say right now to Rabbi Jason Levine, thank you for teaching me how to be a senior rabbi.
It's right in between the tents.
Because truly, Rabbi Jason has been here longer than I have been here, longer than Rabbi Dana has been here. Rabbi Jason is a link in the chain of Temple Beth Am's history that cannot be repeated, that cannot be duplicated, that is unique in and of itself. And not surprisingly, and I need someone, I see you, Davida. Davida, will you give me the 5-minute mark? Thank you. I promise you. The one thing we know, we've learned, I've been here 10 years too. I know this about Temple Beth Am in Seattle. We better get you to your barbecue food in just a little bit. So we're going to make this quick. But we do want to do justice to Rabbi Jason's service here. I'm going to really, really try not to get emotional here. So not surprisingly, this is a teaching this week from the Torah that is perfect to honor you, Rabbi Jason. This week's Torah portion is perhaps one of the 5 most famous Torah portions. It's known as Shoftim. It has the phrase, Tzedek, Tzedek, Tirjo. Say it with me if you know it. Justice, you shall pursue. Rabbi, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg had this phrase in her office. She's a rabbi for some of us. And so much scholars' ink has been spilled on why do we say the words justice, justice twice? And it may be because teaches one Hasidic teacher. The first justice is about formal justice. It is about correct procedures that are well executed. You want to pursue justice justly. The second reference to justice is about distributed justice. You want to make sure that every individual is experiencing justice. The 2 kinds of justice there is, according to our tradition, is well executed formal justice and distributed justice. Rabbi Jason, over your time here, you have been a role model to all of us about what it means to live a life of tzedek, justice, righteousness. The formal justice, I got to tell you, if you are a member of the Temple Beth Am professional team, can you stand up for a moment? Just stand up for a moment. Everyone on Temple Beth Am's professional team knows that if you want something done quickly, correctly, and well, you ask Rabbi Jason to do it. Rabbi Jason is an example of formal justice. And if you are a parent of a young person, if you are an adult who has learned something, if you are someone for whom Rabbi Jason has been a meaningful touch point, then you understand distributed justice, the idea that every single individual is seen and heard, and I'd like to hear from you as well. Because for sure, the one thing that I've heard personally and that we know is that Rabbi Jason, you have your superpower is knowing the name of every child who walks through the doors of Temple Beth Am. That's your superpower. So over the past 11 years, you, my friend, have embodied righteousness that our tradition demands of us. You have been our Rab and Moreh, our rabbi and our teacher. And now we're here at this particular moment. And beyond your rabbinic role of active service, you also role modeled for us courage. The courage to be public about a shift in your life. We all, as a community, celebrate with you and Anna and Elena the addition of Raya to your beautiful family. And you have said to us, and I know I speak for every member of the clergy and professional team when I say thank you for saying this, I'm not going anywhere. This is Anna's and my shul. This is our community. So Rabbi Jason, I'm going to say something now that I know is going to make you uncomfortable. And it's going to be pretty honest. It's going to be pretty true. But I want to say to you that you play a unique role in the rabbinic chain of Temple Beth Am. Because the truth of our history is that rabbinic transitions from our founding in 1956 to the time that you joined us in 2013, rabbinic transitions have sometimes been stressful for us at Temple Beth Am. And what you have done is you have been a chain in the rabbinic tradition, actively remaining and contributing to our history, touching our lives at life cycle moments, teaching us Jewish wisdom. And now you are here and saying you are not going anywhere, that you are actively remaining and contributing to the lifeblood of our community, even as you may not be supporting us professionally. And you are helping us. Everyone who's here, everyone who's in the sanctuary, everyone who's online, and everyone who has been touched by your incredible rabbinic power, you are here helping us stretch our understanding of what a rabbi can be. And so on this evening, when we are here, we don't just say that justice you shall pursue. You are a role model for us of righteousness. We also want to say to you, gifts we have for you. Because we are so grateful. You know, I often say, and Rabbi Jason, more than anyone else, knows every corny rabbi joke that I have. And so Rabbi Jason will know that this is not the first time I will say this joke. But you know that Temple Beth Am is the Hotel California. And Rabbi Jason is demonstrating for us how you can check out, but you never leave. And so we as a community, Rabbi Jason, have two gifts for you. One that represents your first decade here, where you served us so nobly as a rabbi. And we will be creating a shelf in the lobby, a library bookshelf that is exactly at the eyesight of all those children whose names you know, with a dedication to say, thank you for teaching us about the depth of Jewish learning. That is the first gift we have for you as a community. The second gift we have for you as a community is to thank you for your role modeling the courage to be your authentic self and to say you want to be a part of this community, but your rabbinate is moving in a different place, in part because, once again, Rabbi Jason's cleaning up after me, because your family has expanded this summer with the addition of beautiful Raya to Elena and you and Anna as your parent and as the parents. And so we as a community have a gift certificate for your home because we can imagine there are some shifts you may need to do to be able to accommodate a toddler and a newborn. So those are gifts that you will be receiving. I don't have them now because I am not you and I don't pay attention to the details.
for Elena and Ryan.
And I will also say that there is a bottle of really excellent bourbon in there. That's just for Rabbi Jason to share with whomever he wants to share it with. So Rabbi Jason,
Rabbi Am with testing for it, bourbon testing for it.
Really hard day at the job. Really hard day.
but before we let Rabbi Jason say a few words, I want to invite Greg Berkman, our amazing president, up to also share another gift on behalf of the board.
That mic has been moving further away.
I remember Rabbi Jason's very first sermon. Didn't you have COVID last week?
Use a different mic.
I remember Rabbi Jason's first sermon to the congregation, back when he had that new rabbi smell still. A beautiful summer evening, much like this one, 2013. His first words, I'm sure some of you were there, were 7 seconds. Maybe 10 seconds. Was it 10? Maybe it was 13. Okay. I remember some of Rabbi Jason's first sermon. The part I do remember sort of vividly was a discussion about how quickly humans form a first impression about someone. I looked up that study. It was 7 seconds. And in the 10 years that have followed, they have driven that timeline down to somewhere between 100 and 500 milliseconds. You form an impression that fast. I spent many, many old school minutes trying to figure out how to contextualize that. What is 100 milliseconds? I'll spare you. It's faster than the blink of an eye. The simplified theme of this sermon was, of course, that we should get to know one another before we form judgments, which takes a very long time to change or to solidify in our psyche. Very important 10 years ago, even more important today in the polarized landscape we find ourselves. 10 years of service to our community is a lot of eye blinks, a lot of impressions. And like most of you here this evening, I have many very good ones, some great ones, and a couple that were brilliant and transformational. I also remember the lovingly irreverent Seahawks sermon. And the precious times Rabbi Jason was able to just be Jason with me and my family. And perhaps the most transformational teachings yet to come, as Rabbi Jason shows us that besides being a spiritual leader, a teacher, and one who tirelessly serves our community, he's also just a fellow human being, and in this case, just Jason, who wants to have quiet moments of joy and be fully present with his young family. As Rabbi Jason makes this transition from serving our community to being a member of our community, I want to wish you nothing but the best and the time to experience those moments of joy. So thank you, Rabbi Jason, personally, for all you've done for me and my family. And on behalf of the board of directors, for all the wisdom, the teaching you've done for this broad community. And the board is making a tribute to the Youth Learning Fund as a small token of gratitude for you.
10 years ago, when I was first installed as a rabbi here at Temple Beth Am, I began my remarks that evening with a version of this. One of the first things I was taught in my sermon writing class was to never ever talk endlessly about yourself. So let me do just that and introduce myself to this community. 10 years ago, so I said. I am Jason Levine, newly ordained rabbi from Hebrew Union College, Cincinnati campus. I was born to two New Yorkers, but my twin sister and I grew up in St. Louis and Cleveland, and I'm a very proud Midwesterner. I've also lived or worked in a total of 9 states and 2 countries. I am annoyingly proud of my alma mater. I'm a tennis fan, but don't ask me to play. I'm not very good. I'm an amateur drummer, but don't ask me to play that either until I get some lessons. I love classic movies. I'm a big James Bond fan. My favorite movies are Field of Dreams and The Princess Bride. I've been involved with 2 creative problem-solving organizations for kids since I was 8 years old, Odyssey of the Mind and Destination Imagination. I love toys and stuffed animals, and I keep plenty of them in my office, because if you don't have moments to feel like a kid, then where's the fun in life? I'm a foodie who loves spicy food and loves to try new places. As I'm now an official Seattle rabbi, I can openly admit that I've never had coffee a day in my life. I'm an introvert, and I'm proud of that as well. Now, 10 years later, most of that is still true. But now, I'm also a husband to the most amazing woman, Anna. A father to 2 incredible daughters, Elena and Raya. A dog dad to Winnie. A homeowner, someone who absolutely loves the Pacific Northwest, and I've still not had coffee a day in my life. Also, 10 years ago in my installation, I told a classic rabbinic tale, one which has been hanging inside my office every day since my arrival and is still there today as a guiding light, ever as it was. It's a classic story that tells about the great Hasidic sage, Rabbi Zusha of Anapol, who was found agitated and upset as he lay on his deathbed. His students asked, Rebbe, why are you so sad? After all the great things you've accomplished, your place in heaven is assured. I'm afraid, Zusha replied, because when I get to heaven, God won't ask me, weren't you more like Moses, or Abraham, or David, or Akiva, or Maimonides? God will ask, Zusha, why weren't you more like Zusha? And then what will I say? I still love this story and hold on to it tightly. I firmly believe that my job working in the Jewish community is to help each person travel along their Jewish journey to explore and enrich their own Jewish identity. And I've tried to live this idea for the past decade here. At the same time, 10 years later, I'd like to add another level. Yes, we should be more like ourselves, but also we must embrace ourselves within community, both our role to encourage, nurture, and support others, as well as how we sustain and enrich our community itself. My favorite metaphors that I've used many times over are of a tapestry and a web. We are deeply interconnected in our fight for justice, in our highs and lows, and how we are responsible for each other. I always tell new members when they join Temple Beth Am that we are the lucky ones because you have joined us. We are now a different community and a better community because of the gifts each person has added to our tapestry. We continue to change and grow with the blessings that each person brings in. And I hope that mentality always remains. To that end, I realized how blessed I am working on the inside of a community such as this. I get to meet and be exposed to so many people from all segments of Temple Beth Am. I do recognize that this community is big, especially far bigger than it was when some of you originally joined. And that there's a lot of people. But I often worry that we fail to see the full breadth and beauty of how much so many people in this community have to offer. I'm still tickled when I introduce 2 amazing people to each other, only to realize that even though both are members and have given so much, they've never encountered or met one another. Such a loss. There's so many amazing moments and connections that are missing if we don't meet one another. And I know that with 900 families, we have 3,000 opinions about the past, present, and future of our synagogue and Jewish people. Not everything falls everyone's preferred way. Perhaps the most valuable tool of all is sharing our stories, experiences, and adventures with one another. challenging preconceived notions, learning new ideas and artistic expressions, growing our Jewish identities together. That's also why I love the image of a web. How each person is so connected to so many others. I do have to admit, and I worry about this in the months ahead, if your connection to Temple Beth Am is primarily through me or one of the other rabbis, and then I depart my full-time role, and as a result you feel disconnected and unmoored, then truthfully, I have failed. If your connection to Temple Beth Am is only through one strand of the web, we have failed. Yet this is not who we have been, nor who we shall be. I've always said that among the many blessings of Temple Beth Am, what drew me here so much is the incredibly involved and engaged community. This has proven true time and time again, and I know this strength will only grow and grow and grow. So here I give thanks, because I am so humbled and grateful for so much and so many. To Ruth Berkman, Leslie Redd, and my search committee, so many of you who are here tonight, thank you for taking a chance on me and giving me space to thrive. To the incredible committee chairs, lay leaders, social justice leaders, volunteers, and more within this community, thank you for your passion, commitment, and inspiration. To my students of all ages, from seed to the Gan, to the mitzvah, to the youth community, to adult learning, thank you for pushing and challenging me, helping me become a better educator, and opening my minds. To the board of directors, past and present, I've been endlessly overwhelmed with how much you love and care for this community. We are in good hands and our future secure because of your loving guidance. To the presidents under which I have served, Elizabeth Asher, Brian Rutberg, Shelley Cohen, Betsy Maurer, Ben Gladstein, and Greg Berkman. I've had a unique and strong relationship with each of you. You helped weather so many moments in this community with so much wisdom, leadership, and humor. I am forever indebted to how much each of you have inspired me. To the staff of Temple Beth Am, thank you for the long hours, determination, creativity, and amazing camaraderie. I actually have to turn to the congregation for this part. I know that the people of our community are the heart of any Jewish congregation. But in truth, the staff, including our remarkable facilities team, is our backbone. Let me lovingly remind you that our staff and facilities and security team, they do not work for you. They work for our people and our mission. They work their darndest to a level most people don't even realize. And I wish more of us earnestly express our gratitude and our appreciation to our staff. Thank you to all of them. To Davida, my dear friends, thank you for your trust. Thank you for pushing me to keep learning and exploring, to be innovative and to look forward. To Rabbi Dana, my friend for so many years, thank you for your humor, your creativity, your authenticity, and your support. Your shine brightens us all. To Rabbi Ruth, my friend and mentor, thank you for never giving up on me, for teaching me so much, for helping me find my true voice, for guiding me every step on my path to who I have become today. Let me conclude and turn back to my community, say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Over the past decade, I have been present for joys and sadness, learning and wrestling, justice and protest, creativity and struggle, stumbles, and growth. Thank you for giving me the space to learn who I am, even as I'm still trying to figure out who I will become. Give yourself that space as well. Zusha, why weren't you more like Zusha? Our journeys are ever going and the magical trail of experiences and adventures. Embrace them all. And I'll still be here as a member of the community, standing alongside of you. So to my Zusha of a community, as I transition from one place to another, let me leave you with this thought. Who are you? Who are we? Not who we have been, nor who are we now, but who will we be? Supporting one another in our majestic tapestry of blessings, our interconnected web of relationships, as one Beth Am, one house of the people, together.
We invite you to stay standing if you're able, as we'd like to offer a blessing to Rabbi Jason. And Rabbi Dana and I let Rabbi Jason know he won't have to do this lesson. We actually will.
That is right. And I was going to say, just for a moment, my colleague and friend, that I did not expect to be emotional tonight. And being a person who deeply believes in showing our emotions, I don't know why I would have thought that. But as I mentioned earlier, the minute I got to Cincinnati as a new rabbinical student, you took me under your wing and shared with me and created space for me. And you did that for so many people, and you continue to do that today. And it is part of what makes you so powerful as a friend and as a leader, is that you go out of your way to make sure people are so connected with. You went off to work in Hillel, I went off to work in Hillel. You came over to Seattle, I came to visit you in Seattle, and then decided I wanted to work with you. And so in many ways, I've been following in your shadow unintentionally, and you have been such a rabbinic big brother. And I am, for all the blessings you've given, myself, this community, it is an honor to get to offer a blessing over you. And so instead of a talit, although we have one, of course, as well, I want to suggest that we create that woven talit. If you're willing to put your hands out, if you're willing to put your arms around someone else, I invite you to do so that we can create this Sukkot Shalom, the Sukkot of peace together.
And we'll say as a community, Ken, Yehi, Ratzon, repeat that. Ken, Rabbi Jason Levine, may God bless and keep you always. And may the light of the divine, which you may or may not be able to articulate, but which shines from within you, may that light of God shine upon you and be gracious to you. And Rabbi Jason Levine, as you move forth on your journey as father, as husband, as rabbi, may you know that we as Temple Beth Am surround you and are blessed by you. And may you know that God's presence always brings you peace. Ken, Yehi, Ratzon. And then we sing Simon Tov, because this is a moment of mazel, of luck and love.
Simon Tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, Simon Tov. Simon Tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, Simon Tov.
Please be seated. We're just crazy. I have stories of every single one of you. It's unbelievable. But I want to turn us to our service in my role as a rabbi here tonight and help us to work towards the conclusion of our service so we can enjoy one of my favorite times of year, our annual barbecue, and you can get to know each other better and expand your web in the tapestry of our community. On the second to last page of our book, actually, yes, it is the last printed page of our booklet. It is crucial, even in moments of celebration and joy and overwhelming experience such as this one. How more poignant do we have a moment of memory? A moment to honor those who came before us. In my case, the many leaders, the many spiritual guides, the teachers, the founders of our community who built this amazing home that we share together. And so many in our lives we honor, we treasure their memories and live on in their legacy. We honor these loved ones on this Shabbat. We are in the period of Shiva, the 7 days of mourning for Janet Dale Heslin, wife of Merle, sister-in-law of Karen, cousin of Bob and Jane, Peter and Jane, Bob and Chris, John and Trish, Stephen and Tammy, Ken and Nancy, Ellen and David, Rick and Cindy, Steve, Robin, and Jenna, and Mike. We are in the period of Shloshim, the 30 days of mourning for Jenny Gluckman McCracken, mother of Sarah, friend of Puddin and Jane. We observe the yard site, the anniversary of passing of Ada Ignato, Aaron Weiss, Eliza Hadass, Ann Saltzman Siegel, Ann Switzer, Belle Weiss, Betty Freeman, Boris Brieger, Charles Blander, Edna Dahmer Fletcher, Ella Feary, Erna Gallinger, Esther Weiss, Fred Conaway, Frederick Perlman, Gail Shapiro, Gerald Cohn, the founder of Telethon, Laura Fuchs, Harvey Cornell, Eileen Kaufman, Ingborg Asher, Jacob Lustig, Jean Lemke, Jerome Jacobson, Joan Feinberg Snyder, John Tice, Josephine Donadio, Katie Wise Mullen, Klaus Hannick, Laura Makoff, Lillian Coopersmith, Louis Shivitz, Lucille Peterson, Marjorie Feinberg, Mary Lipschitz, Meyer Newberger, Nathan Knott, Philip Garver, Phyllis Minden, Ralph Levy, Retta Kahn, Robert Avram Weisberg, Ronald Allen Shapiro, Russell Samuel Simon Olson, Sam Hockenberg, Samuel Block, Sarah Cohen, Saul Stone, Seema Lipsit, Shirley Dunkelman, Denise Brown, Theodore Sosnick, Walter Williams, Warren Stark Wolkenberg. If any names have been forgotten or mispronounced, I invite you to add them to or share them with our community at this time. Including our friends in the sanctuary online. If you're in the first 7 days of mourning, you're welcome to rise. If you're in the first 30 days of mourning, you're welcome to rise. If you're in the first year of mourning, you're welcome to rise. If you're observing a yard site on this Shabbat, you're welcome to rise. If it's your tradition to rise in love and solidarity, we're all during the Monarch Kaddish, you're welcome to do so as we join in this prayer in the packet together. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala u'v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehesh Shmei Rabbah Libarach Olam Almei Almaya Yit Barach V'Yishtabach V'Yit Ba'ar V'Yit Ramam V'Yit Naseh V'tadar, v'talei, v'talal, shemei v'kudashah, barichu. Me'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Da'amiram v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Ose shalom v'mamav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'al kol yoshvei tevel. V'imru. Amen.
And we will have the opportunity right after services. You can have a seat if you're standing up. And I just want to acknowledge that right now, this beautiful gathering, this midsummer gathering, this Rosh Chodesh Elul gathering is happening on coastal Salish land. And we as a community don't take that lightly. And we continue to contribute to our indigenous neighbors and continue to learn about our commitment to that. We started at 6:23. It is now 7:23. I am very proud of that. It is hard to honor a rabbi and not go over time. And so, but it is with such deep love in my heart that I acknowledge one of our sacred partners, Davida Sims, our executive director, who wrangles these three rabbis like nobody's business, and who wants to also help us celebrate this barbecue.
Thanks. So I promise this will be quick, but I just want to give a few pieces of information so we can have this beautiful evening together. And I just want to speak personally about having an opportunity to gather on a beautiful summer night and honor one of my greatest friends, Rabbi Jason. It just makes it extra special. So seeing so many of you here tonight is a blessing and also an opportunity when it comes to what happens next. So we have many friends in the sanctuary as well watching the services. Many of you are seated at a table, which is wonderful. And we also have seating for another 100 and something inside the social halls. Food is going to be served through those doors there. We have lots of different options. What I would ask is that everyone use their patience as we navigate through this. We've been blessed with getting close to capacity for our space this evening, which is a wonderful gift to have this much beautiful community. So know that there are options, and please, we'd ask that everyone kind of takes one in the beginning and see how it goes so we can move the lines quickly. And there is an ice cream truck that at no cost out front for everyone, and they have lots and lots of dessert, many options. So after dinner, please go out front, get an ice cream treat. What's a barbecue without some sweet treats? And really enjoy. There's also challah, grape juice, wine, and candles if you'd like to do your own Shabbat blessings at your table with some people that are new or old friends. Please enjoy the evening, and Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Hold on, we're gonna do some blessings before we do that. That's
We gotta
okay.
finish. We're almost there.
So
1 second.
I'm gonna invite up the other young individual who's becoming B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow, Ileana Teicher, Morales Teicher. My apologies. Please come on up and lead us in the Kiddush over some wonderful grape juice, so that we can all eat and enjoy it. And let's just all take one breath together as we get ready for that. Big breath.
And so if you have your wine, we're going to sing it together. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu b'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava u'ratzon himkilanu
Zikaron Lemase Bereshit, Kihu Yom Tehillah, Lemikra Kodesh, Zeher Siyat Yisrael. Ivanu Bacharta, Betanu Kidashta, Mikol Ami, B'Shabbat Kodecha, Be'ahava u'ratzon, Imhaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Hashamat.
Diana will take a sip. It's grape juice for Hogan. Rabbi Jason, will you do the honor?
Break bread so we can enjoy our barbecue together. Let's all say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, v'tzei avon.
We go with words of Oseh Shalom as we continue forward into our evening. There'll be live music as we continue as well. So
Thank you to our
musicians.
Awesome. Thank you to Rabbi
Shalom Roma, Uya Ase Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Roma, Uya Ase Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Roma, Uya Ase Shalom Aleinu. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ose Shalom Roma, Ya'ase Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Roma, Ya'ase Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Roma, Ya'ase Shalom Aleinu. Ya'ase Shalom, Ya'ase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Ya'ase Shalom, Ya'ase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Israel.